Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of the dev plays for the Lens Island demo. Before I get into this video, I've got a bit of an announcement actually. So there's actually an opportunity for all of you to actually play the demo for free. We're actually a part of the Steam Next Fest, so I'll have all the information on the screen, and that starts June 16th, I think, to the June 22nd, and you'll actually get a window to be able to download Lens Island demo for free on Steam and be able to play it for around a week. We'll also be doing live streams during that time and a whole bunch of stuff. So make sure to go wishlist the game because you'll get up to date and you'll get sort of notified when all this happens. I'll also be releasing more videos and be sort of letting you all know once it's live. But make sure you wishlist it if you want to be a part of the demo and actually get a chance to play it for free, which is really exciting. We're really excited to share it all with all of you. And you'll be playing the same demo that I'm playing right now. So if you don't want to be spoiled about the demo, maybe click away. If you're just intrigued anyway, saying it though, it's just a small demo. There's not really too much to be spoiled. So I think you're going to have a lot of fun playing it, even if you've seen me play it all before. But look, last episode, I left you all with my tiny little garden. I built a little house. We had sort of the bare bones for setting up a life in Lens Island. Just a really basic house with a bed, a refinery, a pantry. So I think the goal for this episode is to really build a weapon rack and a tool chest. So that's how you actually equip and display and interact with all your items. And actually purchase a lot more of the weapons here. So I'd like to get some of these better combat weapons for sort of combat in the dungeons, expand a bit on the house, and then of course actually get to the end of the caves, which I'm really excited for. So first things first, these farms definitely need a bit of a water. You can see they sort of need it. Beautiful. And yeah, look, I'm just going to talk a bit about the game like before. I'll try to talk a little bit more about specific development as well, and a bit more sort of behind the scenes stuff, and you know, the whys and the hows we've done things and all that sort of interesting stuff, because I know it would be pretty nice to sort of hear it all and get a bit more sort of behind the scenes view on the game. But I actually got a few resources in between the last video. I didn't want the whole video just to be me gathering resources, so I'm going to start smelting all of these and hopefully get some more iron and stuff, because I definitely don't need a torch out either. I need some more iron and a few more sort of crafting items to make some of the better weapons. Everything's sort of laid out in the trading dock here. In the full game, you will be able to craft items, and the whole process will be a little bit different. So what there'll actually be a weapon crafting rack. So you'll be able to buy blueprints, like scrolls from people in the town and the trading boat. And that will just cost a little bit of gold, maybe sort of 3 to 5 gold. Maybe the blueprints will cost varying amounts depending on how sort of rare the item is, though they'll all be typically quite cheap. And then once you buy that blueprint, that will actually unlock, I guess, the crafting recipe back at your weapon crafting station. So then all you need is the raw materials to actually craft the weapon, and then you'll just permanently unlock that weapon. There's no durability on the items. Oh, perfect, the crop's ready to harvest. There's no durability on the items, so they just are sort of permanent, and you don't ever need to replace them or anything, which is always handy. I'll plant some more blueberries while I'm here. Oh, the furnace just finished up too. So I guess it really makes up... Oh, I ran out of coal. Okay, I guess I'll just put some wood in it. Wood does burn quicker than coal, but you just waste so much wood using it in a refinery. It's sort of a last resort. But oh well, I don't have any coal at the moment. But yeah, so I guess it's sort of nice. We sort of really trying to promote collecting large collections of weapons in Lens Island. That's the whole, I guess, idea behind the game, is that you go out and you really sort of test and try out all the different weapons and find stuff that you really like. And there will be sort of ways to actually reward you for collecting bigger sets of items. So for example, that Angler Dangler mace that I showed you at the trading dock just before, that's actually, I guess, a legendary item. So that's actually an item that you only get to craft once you've collected the entire set of what's called the fisherman item. So you'll be able to get all those items from a fisherman in the town in the real game, and that will be this one here. I'll go a bit closer to it. This one here will be sort of like the legendary item of that set. So you'll actually need to unlock, I guess, around 7 or so weapons that are all part of this set to then eventually craft this one. So there'll be multiple tiers to the crafting and different ways to unlock really sort of interesting weapons. So I think I'm pretty well set up to go to the caves. I think I just want to buy a better weapon first. So I think I might need some more iron fragments. Oh, what weapon do I want? I think a spear. A spear could be nice. Also just like one of the katana's pretty awesome. Like I love this katana here. So how much is it? 400 gold. I don't know if I have quite enough. I can sell all of my rubies, which gives me a little bit. I could sell my lightstone, I suppose, which will give me 240. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, so I might just... What else can I sell? Anything else? I think I might just need to collect some more clay to get some more rubies. Oh, so I mean sapphires, not rubies, but I guess technically they're the same thing. And we've actually had a nice little musical track come in the background, which is nice. There's actually music that plays during the morning and during the afternoon in Lens Island. There will be a lot of music in the caves as well. I had some comments in the last video saying that it's a bit quiet in the caves. I absolutely agree, it is a little bit quiet. So there will be a bit more dynamic song or songs in the cave where there'll actually be audio that changes and shifts to what you're doing. Another thing I actually heard a lot about in the previous video was all the rolling. I'm just sort of addicted to rolling, but it won't actually sort of be the way that I'm treating it in the final game. So what I mean by that is you may actually notice, or you might not notice, the rolling is already in this episode compared to the last episode a tiny bit slower, and the rolling's been a little bit too fast, as well as like the cooldown is too sort of soon for a long time. But I've just sort of left it because it's fine for now. But essentially the way the rolling would work is if you can see the little Q icon here, if I hit Q, that's my roll, and then it has a cooldown, and then I can roll again. So at the moment I've just sort of been spamming it as much as I can just to make distance over a shorter time. But the way it'll actually work in the full game is once you roll, it will have a cooldown till you can do a next roll, but then it'll sort of eat at like your stamina, and then you'll only be able to do sort of one or basically like 2 or 3 rolls in quick succession before it will start to sort of chew at your stamina too much, and then you have to wait a significant amount of time to be able to roll again. So the aim is to basically make it so if I was to run from here to the other side of the island, and then I was to do the exact same thing but rolling, they would both take the same amount of time because I'd be waiting for the roll cooldown. Maybe I'd walk a little bit slower when I'm out of stamina waiting for the roll cooldown, which would then sort of even out the time. So you don't have to worry about being forced to spam roll everywhere. It won't really be like that in the full game. It's just because it's sort of available to me now, I'm taking advantage of it. So I'll try not to do it too much because I know it's a little bit annoying sort of visually looking at the game. Okay, do I have enough money? Oh, I'm so close. this whole, I should have been a bit more prepared and yeah, did all this before I started the video. So I need 25, oh, do I have flowers? Oh yes, okay, I can sell some flowers, awesome. Oh, why didn't I do this before? Perfect. Okay, so we have enough for our shishing, and this is a really cool katana. So you can see it's quite fast, the attack speed. It's got some really interesting sort of swipes, and it's got this ability which is just a W sort of spin. So although this is quite a rare sort of, I guess, higher tier item, just due to how sort of it does really big crits as well. So it does really good critical hits, and then on top of that, just because of how quick it is, like the attack speed is so quick, it doesn't really need a big long list of abilities to be good. So you'll get that a lot within Lens Island. There's quite a big variation in weapons. So a weapon just having more abilities doesn't necessarily mean that weapon is better, because there's so many different facets to the weapons that make them better. Okay, so look, let's try and finish these dungeons, or at least one half of the dungeons. So I forgot what I did last episode. I forgot what part of the dungeon I got to. I don't know. I'll just try and finish the whole thing here. So, okay, we've got some coal. We definitely need coal. So I'm going to mine these coal nodes while I'm down here. And I forgot to do my little combo with the pickaxe. If you remember from last episode, it's normal hit, 1 ability, 2 normal hits, and another ability, bam. And it just mines the stones so quickly. It's pretty awesome. Okay, I'm not really too worried about the regular stone. The stones in the cave do give you more stone than the ones, here's our first enemy. They do give you more stone than the ones in the above ground. Oh, perfect, I timed that perfectly. Oh, I forgot to equip my blueberries, so I've got no health. Oh man, okay, well, I'll try and do this all without healing. Oh, no, I'm not off to a good start. I thought my ability wasn't on cooldown. There's a combo you can actually do with this katana, versing the enemies, and it sort of kills them in around like 3 hits. The smaller ones, the bigger ones definitely take a few more hits. but it's really, really effective, so I'll try and have to do that combo every time. Okay, I'm just going to destroy some more chests in the dark here. And what did we get up to last time? I think I got up to sort of the end of, like, sort of like the main boss fight, I guess you could say, in the demo. But there's a whole other aspect to the cave, which is like the corrupt area, which is all dark and scary. So I'll try complete both the areas. It's going to be so hard without any food though, but I'm honestly going pretty good this time. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention last one. So all these egg sacs, these are just for aesthetics in the demo, though these will be like an actual mechanic in the final game. So in the final game, there will be these sort of egg sacs around the place, and these will be spawners. So they'll be spawning enemies, and they'll have health, and you'll need to try and sort of destroy them and pop them so they stop spawning enemies. Imagine sort of like spawners in Minecraft or something. So, oh, get this. So I need to concentrate for these jumping pads. Sweet, okay, we did it. But yeah, and there'll also be a lot more enemies in the final game. I think I mentioned that as well. So I'm gonna get more coal. I found coal is probably one of the resources that you tend to need the most in Lens Island. It's a bit more sort of exaggerated in the demo, and I guess the need for resources is in general exaggerated in the demo, just because this is a much smaller cave. So you can sort of mine the entire cave and almost run out of sort of rocks to mine. Though in the final game, it's just never going to be a problem, because the size of the caves and the dungeons in the final game is literally like 50 plus times. So imagine the whole cave. You haven't even seen the whole cave yet. But imagine sort of like 50 times bigger than what I'm in right now. Like the entire whole sort of level of what I'm in right now. It's probably even 50 times bigger. And it's also a lot different. There's all these different areas. There's a giant city. And when I say giant city, I mean like a giant city down in the caves. And you can loot all the houses, and there's going to be enemies everywhere, and it's fully sort of interactable. It's really pretty awesome. I don't mean to brag, but I'm really proud of how the level design is shaping up for the caves in the full game. So going from the demo to playing the full game is going to be really exciting for all of you guys that finally get to play the full game after you've played the demo, because it's just going to be awesome. It's going to be such a breath of fresh air, because I think I was a little bit worried that I included a bit too much content in the demo, because this is like it sort of stands on its own 2 feet, this demo for Lens Island. Which is really awesome to sort of see, because it's just a tiny demo. It's really just nothing compared to the final game, and I really mean that. The final game has so much more content. It's crazy. So it's really exciting to think that there's people that really like the demo, and even like I'm having a lot of fun playing the demo, and it's really such a small slice of what will be in the final game in so many ways. Not just like the size of levels and the amount of content in the game, but also like the mechanics in the game. Man, it's really hard to try and... I really hope I don't die again here. Oh, jeez, I might. Okay, I'm gonna have to back out. Oh, should I try? Should I at least try and... I'll do it. I'll do it for the video, and I'll try and kill the rest of these enemies with like 5 health. This is gonna be so hard though. Oh no! Oh, look at my health! Look at I got... Oh no! I've got like 1 health. Oh no! Oh, this is such a terrible idea. Oh man. Okay, this is really scary. Oh jeez. If I do this is going to be unbelievable. Oh. Dude, I didn't think this could be so heart pumping playing Lens Island. I just want to go back up. No, he got me on the jump. Oh, this is exactly what happened in the last episode. This is exactly what happened. Oh, it's happened all over again. Oh, I'm so sorry to everybody watching that I've let you down. I'll go back straight into the dungeons. I'll take some blueberries with me this time. I'll be a little bit more prepared, and then I'll be able to finally kill these dudes. There we go. Get some blueberries. I definitely don't need my watering can. Okay, I might even just sort of like try and run past. Oh, because that's the thing of Lens Island. Even if you run past the enemies, you'll still have to fight them on the way back when you're trying to exit the caves. And I've lost all my coal now. I've still got some coal. But, oh, some lightstone down here. I'm going to get that. But yeah, oh, this lightstone, I might even be able to build that mace that we're looking at before. It'd be really cool to actually show you that mace. Depending on how far I get up to in this episode, I might do a 3rd episode. I'm not sure. It depends sort of how much I get done. So now we have some blueberries. I'll be able to fight. I'll be able to fight all the creatures at the end with a bit more than 1 HP. That was unbelievable. I don't think I've ever been on such low health before, which is pretty crazy. And it's also really fun. It's sort of what I'm experiencing now is honestly like the exact emotions that I wanted to provoke while sort of coming up with the whole idea for Lens Island. Is because I was so sick of playing dungeon crawler and just more action-y games, like even games like Dark Souls and such, where you're just sort of fighting things non-stop. And the combat and fighting things is really sort of high intensity, gets your heart rate up, and it's really fun, but you can only sort of take it for so long before you just go like, oh man, like I need a break. Like, I just need to chill out and like tend to my farms for a little bit. And that's exactly what Lens Island is supposed to sort of encapsulate, is you can have these high intensity moments down in the dungeons where it's sort of like I was just a minute ago, freaking out with 1 health, you know, sort of laughing and having a really good time. And then once you've done that and you sort of want to experience something a little bit more calm, you can go back and have all this really interesting building system and farming and explore the island above and do it in a bit more of a peaceful sort of way where you're just sort of doing things leisurely at your own pace. And that's really the core of what makes Lens Island is that sort of duality in gameplay. I've talked about it a lot before because it is really so important. Like, that is the selling point of this game. And when I say selling point, I don't mean selling point to other people. Honestly, it's a selling point to me. Lens Island is just a game that I wish existed. So, and it didn't exist before, you know, I started working on it. So that's why I made it, because I just want a game to play that is sort of combines all the elements that I like in games. And honestly, it's been a bit unfortunate because, you know, when you're making a game, you don't necessarily get to play it properly. You're just too busy making it all the time. But the moments I do get to actually play through Lens Island like I am now, is it's really, really satisfying. It's really fun being able to play something which is, in my eyes, sort of like the perfect game for what I like in games. And everyone likes different things, but I've also tried to make Lens Island a blend of different genres in a way that you can sort of... Man, I did pretty well then, actually. I've tried to blend the genres of sort of dungeon crawling, farming sim, sort of open world exploration, survival crafting, base building, all those sorts of genres in a way that you can sort of pick and choose the parts that you like in those genres, and then really sort of get the most out of those areas and not be forced to do every little aspect. So yeah, I actually killed all the enemies there, which is awesome. So now we can finally get to all the loot at the end. So this is one half of the final end zone of the demo. There's a whole other section which I'll probably do later because I really want to do some renovations to the home up on the island and build out the farms a little bit more and show you a little bit more of the whole building system, as well as like I always get this weird sense of not sure how to describe it, but I always feel a little bit uncomfortable when I play Lens Island and I've got like this really crappy little shack to go back to. Like, I want like a nice big homestead that really feels like a home, which is it's just one of those psychological things, I guess. Alright, so now time to get back and hopefully not fall off the edge or anything. And I didn't even really need too many blueberries, which is great. I healed up a little bit, but I think I came in with like 16 blueberries, so I think I've done pretty well there. It's sort of interesting to combat Lens Island, and it's obviously it's in a pretty basic state right now, just of those, just the one sort of type of enemy. But they can really sneak up on you. Like, you can have really good runs where you just sort of do everything perfectly and dodge all their attacks and then sort of really navigate the world perfectly. But then there's some runs where just nothing really goes to plan, and they really get you. they can do a lot of damage really quickly, and that's going to be multiplied when there's all the different other types of enemies. If you've seen a lot of the early videos in Lens Island, one of the other sort of major enemy types are these sort of floating lightning fish. That's our sort of that's our internal developer name. We call them the lightning fish because they're basically these sort of ethereal floating fishy tentacle creatures that float around and they shoot big bolts of lightning at you. So they're obviously a ranged enemy, and the ranged enemies, like the lightning fish mixed in with the enemies I was just fighting, but creates a really, really interesting dynamic. It can make for some super tense battles down in the caves, which is a lot of fun. Okay, and then I'll need to water my garden as well. Actually, I don't need that. Might just quickly see what I'm able to craft, because I've got a good amount of resources. Can I? Oh, awesome. Okay, so I can craft the mace. Bam. So I think what I'll do is I'll spend a bit of time working on the home and everything, and then maybe I might even save going to the next part of the caves for the next episode. So I need a tool chest, actually. That's what I was going to build. A tool chest and a weapon rack, which I just need some iron shards for, which I can easily get. I've got tons of stone, so let's load that up. Let's load up all of the, what's going on here? There we go. Alright. And then we can build a weapon rack. So I'll quickly... I've kept, in the demo, I've kept all the basic items all here in this first little table. So even when you haven't built a weapon rack yet, you can still just go there just to equip them. And I better show you all this mace too, because as you can see, it's a pretty mean looking mace. Like, it looks pretty crazy. So it has a few abilities. As you can see, it's got W, E, and R. So it has 2 normal swipe attacks. So I'm just using my normal mouse to click here. And you can see it does do a little bit of damage to stones. So that's called sort of bludgeoning damage. It does a good amount of bludgeoning damage. So it's almost sort of like a half pickaxe. And all the maces do sort of somewhat significant bludgeoning damage. So it's got its swipes, and then it has all of its abilities actually have like an area of effect to them. So if I do my W, it does this big sort of 360 ground slam. The E does actually 2 swipes, so it does like a regular swipe and then an AoE sort of ground slam. And then the R is bam, like this real cool sort of jumping slam attack. So they can become really, really interesting to actually link all those attacks together down the dungeons, fighting the enemies. And all these blueberries are ready to go. So this is their sort of sparkle stage. When they're sparkling, it just means they're perfect, ready to harvest. And I think they stay sparkling for around 12 hours, like in-game hours. So half a day in-game is how long they stay sparkling for. If you miss the sparkle, you still get all the blueberries, but you just get a bonus blueberry whenever you harvest them while they're sparkling, because it's like the perfect time to harvest them. I might extend out my farm here. I might just mine this rock, because I don't want the farm going sort of too close to my house over there. So I'll get the stones. Get all of that, and then we'll build some more farms. Perfect. What else can I plant? I guess I'll plant some lavender. I've just got 2 left, and a marigold, and then I'll just plant the rest of my blueberries. Oh, I'm gonna have to go over here to do it. Now you can't do everything from the other side of the farm, unfortunately. Alright, and I'll give this a nice water. The good thing about the watering can is because it actually waters based on where the water is falling. So where the actual water drops land, it will water a farm. So it's actually possible to water 4 farms with the one the one swing. Because you can see it starts on this farm, arcs over to that farm, and then just hits that farm. So, and there'll be different kinds of watering cans that you can get that actually sort of, I guess, unload different amounts of water. So you can, it's actually really fun hitting all these at the same time. It's so inefficient. The tool I'm using is definitely not used for chopping down trees or gathering reeds, but I just felt like doing it. But yeah, it means you'll be able to get different kinds of watering cans, basically. And be able to water crops, I guess, a bit more effectively. Cool, so where do we want to put our tool chest and weapon rack? Because I really like this little home being just like a little cozy home. I might even put a rug down just there. Might be cool to move the bed. Oh, maybe I'll move the bed upstairs. Yeah, okay, so I'll remove the bed. You get refunded for all your materials in Lens Island as well. So you never have to worry about sort of being harshly sort of penalized for just wanting to rearrange your house. You can pretty much rearrange your house at any time, and it's okay. So I'll put a bed down upstairs. That's our new bedroom. And then I guess I might actually quickly chop down this tree. It's just annoying me. And then I'll make downstairs my whole sort of weaponry place. I might actually, do I have any stone? I'd love to upgrade some of the area down here as well. Like just upgrade my foundations to stone and upgrade the walls to stone. As you can see, they just look a bit cool. Okay, well I upgraded 2 walls to stone, so I'll get some more stone in a second. But what I'll do first is get a weapon rack and a tool chest. I just need some more scrap metal. Okay, so I might go back to the pirate parkour island. I'll get some more stone. Actually, yeah, well I'll go to the other island just to my right. Over here, because hopefully some barrels have spawned back in at the island. And I'll be able to get some more scrap metal from those barrels. I don't know how much I need. 20. How much do I have? 17. Oh, sweet. Okay. So, fingers crossed, there'll just be 1 or 2 barrels up on the island here that I can gather. And they will give me the scrap metal I need. Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Use my big mace. There you go. Bam. It's the most, like, overused way to harvest barrels. But, it's quite fun. Okay, get that. Can I do a slam attack on the last barrel? Let's have a look. Perfect. That was really satisfying. I love how satisfying it is just to gather resources in this game sometimes. Even like I was having so much fun just hitting the reeds in the tree before, which is really awesome. To me, it's a great indication of, I guess, a good mechanic in a game where it's something that should technically be a chore, but you actually have a whole bunch of fun doing it, which is awesome. So, okay, we have our tool, chest, and our weapon rack. So what we can do here is actually display our items. So I'm going to display the pickaxe. Might display the watering can because I'm often equipping that as well. So now we have our watering can, our pickaxe here. So I can actually just click on them and then directly equip them from these slots, which is really handy. So I'll do the same for my weapons. I'll equip my sword. I'll equip this big mace that I've currently got equipped. I guess I might as well just display this other sword, seeing as I got the spare slot. So yeah, I've got all my cool weapons lined up here, and now I could, for example, just click on that and then just equip it. Or I could go to the rack. I could equip any of my swords directly from here. I can also sort of click on them and then equip them from that icon. So it's really easy to sort of change out your loadouts, especially if you were to make several weapon racks or weapon racks or several tool chests. You could have a line of all your sort of favorite weapons all on display, and then you can sort of walk up, quickly change your loadout, and then, you know, get ready for battle down in the dungeons or whatever you're sort of wanting to do. Okay, so I'm going to upgrade some more stuff to stone, which I need a lot more stone to do. So I'm going to need some limestone, regular stone, and maybe a little bit of wood. So I guess while I do all this resource gathering, I'll try and think of some stuff to talk about that I haven't talked about yet. It's hard because I've been doing these devlogs for a very long time on the YouTube channel. I think I looked the other day, and the very first devlog that I made for any game, actually, the first devlog on this YouTube channel was in 2015, I believe. And that was for a game I made in university called Tension, which is sort of like a 2-player co-op puzzle platformer game, which is a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed making and playing that game. It was good fun. So I've been making these devlogs for a while now, and I've been making them for Lens Island for about 2-3 years maybe. So I sort of forget about what I've talked about sometimes because there's just been so many videos where I've mentioned certain things. But it's really cool to go back and look through the whole history of the Lens Island development, especially as sort of being the creator of Lens Island. It's really something special to sort of realize where I was, you know, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when I was just like this little lone guy just trying to make a game by myself and struggling and sort of doing the best I could. And to see where it is now, especially with the help that we have, you know, it started off with just me for the first few years, and then I got on Martin, who's now the lead programmer, and then Lars, who does all of the sound effects and audio and music composing. So all of the amazing audio that you hear is from Lars. And then we also have Ivan as well, who's been helping out a lot recently and helping us with a lot of shader work. So this beautiful ocean, this is all a custom shader that we wrote specifically for Lens Island. And that's all of that is to do with Ivan. He does some amazing stuff. So it's really been special to look at the way that Lens Island has progressed over the years, because it went from being just a little idea in my head that I was trying my best to create. And I guess I made a pretty good prototype. Like, I essentially made the prototype for Lens Island by myself. I made all of the facets we have in the game now, the building system, the farming, the combat system, enemies, all of that. I did create sort of work in progress prototype versions of all of those systems, and then we essentially completely rebuilt the whole game from the ground up once Martin got involved. And obviously, Martin being a professional programmer, he sort of looked at me and said, "Julian, this is the worst code I've ever seen." I said, "Yes, you're right." And then we rebuilt the whole game, which gave me more time to work on all the art, the level design, actually building the game and figuring out the mechanics, and really just spending a lot of time designing the game rather than just trying to actually make Lens Island, building systems and programming and doing all the stuff that I'm not necessarily too good at. Now I get to spend my time designing Lens Island and actually sort of crafting it into the game that I really want it to be, which is something awesome. It's something that I hope anyone interested in game design gets the opportunity to do, because when you actually get to become a designer, it is really something special, especially when you're sort of doing what you're best at doing, because Martin is an amazing programmer, Lars is an amazing composer, and it's a sort of a saying that a lot of people have said before, that I've sort of looked up to, and they've always said aces in their places, and it's something I honestly definitely agree on, is if you're good at something, your time is well spent in that area, as opposed to any other area. Okay, so I'm going for that sort of like old sort of Victorian mansion sort of look, where it has the stone down the bottom and then like the wood at the top. So I just need a little bit more stone, a little bit more limestone, and then I should be able to finally upgrade that top area. So I don't need any more limestone, I just need regular stone. Okay, some stones here. Cool. And the sun is setting on Lens Island. It's really funny. It's not that funny, but I would love to try and, I guess, express how long I've spent on the lighting system on Lens Island. I often get a lot of people going, "Oh, Julian, like the lighting looks really good, and what did you do to make it look like this?" And honestly, it's like, I've spent years and years tweaking and editing and mucking around with the lighting and shadows for Lens Island. There's no easy answer to that question, and there's no like literal easy answer either, because it's not just one system, it's not one thing that I've done to make Lens Island looks like how it looks. I might actually make that stone as well. Oh, what about the ornate one? Oh, that looks cool, doesn't it? The ornate sort of, yeah. Oh, that looks really nice. So yeah, there's the whole ornate style that I haven't really shown you all yet, which is this. It's a bit more sort of Mediterranean themed, I guess. I could try build a couple of things in the ornate. So here's the stone. There's an exact copy of all the building parts in each style. So we have wood, then stone, and then ornate. And we will be making more styles for like after launch as well. So we will be launching this game as essentially as like an early access game. It will be it will be a fully fledged game, but what we will be launching isn't anywhere close to what we will I guess envision Lens Island as a finished game to be. We want to add a lot more to this game, and something that we would be adding is a whole lot more styles. So instead of 3 building styles, we would envision maybe 5 to 10 building styles as what we think would be a complete set of building styles. And as for the building parts here, although there are quite a lot of building parts, we would want double the amount of building parts. This is still the demo too, so there's a ton of stuff that's not even included there's a ton of stuff that's in the final game that's not in the demo. For example, there's a lot more interactable items. There's like music players and all sorts of wacky stuff. There's a whole lot more decoration items. I'm talking about maybe like 3 or 4 times the amount of decoration items. There's a whole bunch more farming items. There's lattice farms that you can build up a wall to grow vines on. There's water towers, there's wells, there's fences, a few other things I'm probably forgetting. And then there's a couple more building parts. There's also ladders and ladder hatches as well for the building. So that's what's going to be available at launch. And then on top of that, we'll continue to expand upon that exponentially as we sort of keep developing Lens Island. So look, I might put a little map here, a little map of the world. Where's a good place to put my map? Maybe somewhere that's not in the way. Oh, it was green for a second. I want to get that green spot. There we go. Beautiful. Got the little map. All right. So I think I might sleep in my bed, because then we can get to go back to the morning. And look, I think that's pretty much, we call it sort of the end of this dev plays. Oh, my pumpkins are ready. I'm gonna quickly harvest my pumpkins. I see they're sparkling. Perfect. Oh, okay. I got some nice juicy pumpkins. Honestly, I think I might have to up the drop rate for the pumpkins a little bit. So the fully harvest pumpkins, you get 3 with an option to get a 4th every so often. I think I might need to make it a little bit more, but that's what beta testing's for. Okay, as always, I will finish looking at my beautiful little house here. Put on the depth of field. I was doing that wrong. Wow, there we go. No, hit caps lock. That's actually a bug in this build of the demo I'm playing, where this hotbar stays on. It would actually be completely off. So you can take like all nice cinematic shots in the screenshot mode. So there's all controls to move around the camera. So you could sort of do things like this and get all nice sort of cinematic shots and like control the camera panning and do all sorts of things, which is really cool. It's something that I always love in games, where they sort of give creators ways to film nice footage and take nice screenshots. But yeah, look, that is the Lens Island demo. I think I'll do one more part to this series. I'll improve the house a little bit, expand upon it. I'll also venture down into the other part of the dungeons and show you all the mace, the angler dangler. You'll notice a lot of the items in Lens Island are a bit quirky, a bit funny, because that's just sort of our sense of humor. But look, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really excited to showcase the demo to all of you as part of the Steam Next Fest as well. So be sure to wishlist the game if you haven't already, and keep up to date with the videos, because I will be sort of announcing all of that very soon. Another thing to look forward to is we will be releasing the official gameplay trailer very soon for Lens Island, which is really exciting. I just get trembles every time I watch the trailer because it's just awesome. It's really awesome. So yeah, I hope you have an amazing day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.